Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Yep. Hello. Happy Monday. Here we go. Got Virginia hanging out in New Orleans because it's that time of year again. Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras. That's where she's going to be. We'll check in with her and find out how she's doing. But yeah, she's partying it up. You can go on our social media. We're posting up a lot of the photos so you can see what she's doing. But pretty much she's just covered in purple beads, and she always has a drink in her hand. That's pretty much what's going on.
Well, I mean, that's how you got to do New Orleans, right?
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Is Magnolia with her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she is
Got
with
the
her.
whole family. Yeah,
That's
Panda
right,
and
yeah.
Rocco. Yeah, whole crew. Yeah, they got them all there. So she'll be there. I think she's, do we know, is she back Thursday?
She's back on for Friday's show.
For Friday, okay.
She's taking a nice vacation.
I know, yeah.
Sweet 4-day.
2 days last week.
Man. By the way, I was ready and prepared to do shows Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do them because it was just going to be me and Denny's, and
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
I don't think, you know.
Yeah, it's when you got one out.
That would be a lot of pressure, just me and Denny. It's enough pressure when you're gone anyway.
Yeah. Well, I
Just
think
to
when you
add-
got two show members out, it's tougher.
It is.
Yeah, it's then it's. I mean, now it's subtly different, but yeah, you get two out, it's going to be probably radically different. So.
Oh, yeah, the Denny's and Bird show would sound way different.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it would get weird.
It would just sound like you guys chilling at home.
Yeah, it gets weird. It does. I think some of our audience would not appreciate it.
I think a lot of people would, though, too, so who knows. Aaron from Okeechobee wants a reboot of the Jaybird versus Virginia wine game, but I think that's playing into Virginia. Yes, it was hilarious the first time around, but yeah. I mean,
sometimes you lose the big game.
Lightning strikes. You got to be ready when your number is drawn. You got to be ready to step up to the challenge, and if you blow it, you may only have one chance, and that's what I think was great about it.
Eminem said it. You get one shot. She blew it. She Bill Bucknered it.
She did. She blew it. Comment on Virginia's beer. Jason has an idea. He said, if you do go with a different name for her beer, how about Witch's Brew?
I don't hate it. Virginia's Witch's Brew?
Yeah, it complements the witchy side of her and the brew of the beer. I do actually really like that. I saw it as like, okay, if we switch from Vicious V,
I don't hate it.
that might not be bad. Because, and just the only reason, and I think from here on out, every year we'll come out with beers with the same name, but it's just, we'd use Twisted Trunk for the other beers, so it's almost like maybe we should shed the skin and, because it's due south.
Yeah, I do want to keep Full Gorilla if we can. I think that
Well,
would
it's
be
a due south.
beautiful. Love it.
That's what I'm saying. We would keep that. We'd keep Peace Train. As long as we keep making the beers with due south, we'd keep the names, and, while we're there, we'd rotate. But it just seems almost like maybe because it's going to be a different recipe. It's a different beer. I mean,
I completely agree with you, and I think Kevin's BDIPA is even a better name too.
Yeah.
I love that.
yeah. So I think that that'll work. So I don't hate the Witch's Brew, and that might be a good call. Virginia's Witch's Brew. Got me going. Ann sent an email and said, hey, I heard Virginia and Jaybird talking about the Walking Tree Brewery on the After the Show podcast. That's the one in Vero Beach. They throw amazing events. They often have people performing on stage in the warehouse and usually have a food truck for events. They throw events almost every weekend. I'm sure they can help you figure out the stage situation. Okay, I'd love to see you guys in the Vero area. Yeah, that'd be nice. We're trying to get some live beer podcasts that we'd come out and do the After Show podcast. We just want them in like bars and breweries and places that it might have a stage that, we can do our thing on.
Yeah, we talked about doing a snack pack show up in the Pizzle as well, and me and Virginia got into a big debate about it. And she's like, "Well, I got a place for you." And I'm like, well, does it have a stage? Well, no, but we'll make a stage. I'm like, it's got to have a stage.
Right,
It has to have it for all that stuff. When you start getting involved, like building stages, it starts to get expensive and annoying.
It's tough enough just to get the sound right. But yeah, if you got to then construct a stage and do the build out. And
the last Snack Fact show we did, the guy who was running our sound, he left for some reason. It was a guy we didn't know, and he was kind of part of the deal that we had. He leaves, and nobody was running our sound, so we watched back on the video, and every time Denny's would start to sing and rap, all you could hear was Denny's voice in the bar the whole time. So if you went to the show, you just heard Denny's rapping. It was just you couldn't hear the beat. You couldn't hear anybody else but Denny's.
Oh,
he was cringing so bad. He goes, "Why is my microphone the loudest? It was supposed to be the lowest.
The lowest, and he was the loudest.
Oh, he's so loud. That's all people could hear. Was Denny's shout rapping.
That's amazing.
I gotta find that audio.
That'd be pretty great.
It's been terrible.
It's terrible.
Oh, the guy took off.
Yeah, screw this. Sound is everything.
Oh my gosh.
It really makes it. Yeah, I mean, I thought that because when I saw Jake Owen, Vero Beach guy, on the cruise, he was doing an amazing job. I've seen him. This is the third time I've seen him. And he was great with the crowd and everything, but he had a little bit of a little bit of feedback was coming off like every now and then. And you could almost kind of like, he wrote it well, but I could tell he's like, oh,
that's why people lose their mind over sound. You could be the greatest musician, but if you have a shitty sound.
He was killing it. He was doing great. Yeah.
That's why you see people lose it on that stuff. You always got to make nice with the sound person. It's like pissing off the surgeon before surgery.
He does a show. What would be amazing? He does a show there every year, and it's growing. It's getting bigger and bigger, and he brings in some other big country acts. So he goes back to his hometown. It's in December he does it. I assume he's going to do it this year. That actually might be a good time to tie everything around that. If we got the snack pack up there.
Oh, I love it.
Threw them in the mix.
I love it.
Yeah, so you'd have a nice little built-in crowd, and then country people going, what the fuck is this?
As they always do. I remember when we did a Snack Fact show at Mudfest, and people are like, what the fuck is this?
That should be fun to watch.
It is.
Yeah, okay. Got a question about mukbangs from Serena. She said, so while watching some YouTube food reviews, I came across this guy who goes by the name Nikado Avocado. And he's just sitting, talking, and eating a bunch of different foods, usually fast food, sometimes noodles. I did a little digging and found out that this form of online broadcast is called a mukbang. It originated in South Korea and is very popular. Nikocado has said that he makes a decent living off posting 5 videos a week. But very popular mukbangers can make upwards of $10,000 a month. Anyways, I just thought I would share my new food YouTube interest.
Mukbang.
I think Jaber would be a very good mukbanger. I like seeing him upload a mukbang video on YouTube. Dennis can even join in. Sounds like some dirty sexual act, but totally it's not.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I think there was a girl, I was making a video with my trainer up at the gym, and I think she does that stuff. She just has a YouTube channel, and she just like, I'm going to eat this.
You interact with people.
Yeah.
I think that's that's a fun thing to do. If someone eats alone and wants a little company, that could be kind of something.
You talked about doing that, yeah.
A fun thing we could do.
Yeah.
Just talk. I mean, we just eat our food and you ask questions and just type them back and forth with each other.
Having lunch with you, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you do it live? Is it like a live stream, or you just make a YouTube video and then post it?
A lot of them do it live stream where they're interacting with somebody. So me and Denny's would at noon go on live, Facebook Live with our food and just go, hey guys, how's it going? Let's talk. Blah blah blah.
You should totally do that.
Yeah.
Set a date and time, maybe a weekday at noon. You guys just have some food.
We're gonna throw out some fuck faces though. We want a peaceful lunch.
Oh, okay. So you just go in there and just chuck people out? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me see.
Well, who wants to eat lunch and get insulted? That's,
You're right. Yeah. Don't you think you're fat enough?
Yeah, fuck you. Well, that's not even bad. That's not an insult.
Oh, okay. That's not bad for you, huh?
No.
Gets worse. Somebody talk about if you want to eat something. Portillo's that I'd mentioned. I went there for the first time in Chicago when I was there over the summer. Going to be back this year. Don't know if they got any in South Florida. I'm not sure they do. So Keith sent this to us. Maybe he's in Chicago. But he said the cheesy beef at Portillo's is awesome. They do those great beef sandwiches. If you're ever in Chicago, try to get one. It was different. I'd never had anything like it. Apparently, it's a Chicago famous thing. And in fact, I would put it better than their Chicago pizza. I think Chicago pizza is overrated. Like,
do you?
I do. Even my wife, who's from Chicago, does not like Chicago pizza.
If anyone listening knows where here in South Florida they offer Chicago style, because I know they got the New York down here. Everyone claims they've got the best New York pizza here in South Florida. Man, there's so many New York places where they claim to have that.
Right.
But I don't see a lot of Chicago.
No.
Where it's were they branded as a Chicago. I know there's a place in Gardens. You usually have to order it an hour in advance too, because it takes a while to cook.
And even when I was in Chicago, I remember when I was up there, somebody saying there's a place that's a chain that says they do the best and they don't. So don't fall for the lies. So I couldn't even remember.
I can't tell you, Kev, how many places say they've got authentic New York pizza. I mean, I would say 70% of the places I've tried claim that.
Yeah, so you probably just have to go to the city itself, and it's probably realistically some kind of like little hole in the wall that doesn't really advertise, and you would never expect that is the best.
And I would imagine too, up in New York, they have all different styles and types of pizza. Not every pizza place you go to, it's going to be the same kind of pizza. It'll be the same type probably. Yeah, but it's going to taste different.
A lot of it was standard, but it would. I'm sure probably. I mean, if you're really in it, then you would get to find your absolute favorites.
Some people do like more of a basil sauce. Some do more of a sweet sauce, and that's the interesting stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, he said if you go to Portillo's, they got something like you'd like. It's called chocolate cake shakes.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like chunks of big chocolate cake, like in a big old creamy milkshake.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. You would hear yourself getting fatter with every sip.
Gosh, it's so unfortunate, isn't it?
Isn't it though? I know.
It really is.
I know. I can tell that I've already gained a solid 10 fucking pounds doing all this and I'm not even going that crazy.
Yeah.
And it comes back, man.
Sucks. Too bad, man. Gosh. Because that's all I would eat.
Yeah, I know. The
pizza
sweets,
and milkshakes,
The sweets is the worst. That's the shit that goes right to your right to the lips to the hips, baby.
I hear you. Netflix must watch. Cesar said, Behind the Curve. This should be interesting. Meet the growing worldwide community of theorists who defend the belief that the East is flat while living in a society who vehemently rejects it. You've spoken about conspiracy theories. You've spoken about how social media and YouTube is feeding this growth of flat Earth. Check it out on Netflix. It's unreal how these flat earthers really believe the Earth is flat. And apparently somebody I'd seen in one of our chat rooms was commenting on it today and said, it's so funny because they're actually explaining why the Earth is round, these dumbass people, and don't even realize that they're totally killing their own argument. So it's pretty funny special in that respect. It makes them look stupid.
Totally.
Which, I don't even get that theory.
There's a growing movement of all that kind of stuff. There's people who really believe that the Earth is flat, and their whole argument is, well, how do you know we're really going to space? How do you know space exists? Did you go to space? Did you see it? No, those are images. Blah, blah, blah. You can't believe anything. I know. At that point,
if that's the criteria, then you never believe anything in life. But, sometimes it's called faith. Sometimes you have to say, look,
Faith? It's called facts, too. There's facts of shit out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Is anything ever 100%?
I think there are some things at 100%.
You think, but you could throw that whole Denny's mind bomb at you. Be like, what if it's like you're in the Matrix, man?
Like your beard. It's $100.
Yeah. Is it really? Is that really your face you're looking at in the mirror?
Well, yeah. If that's your argument for everything, then you win every argument by saying, well, that you can't prove it. It's not real. And there's some things you can prove on this earth.
I saw one thing that they're trying to do that would make that a bigger question in the future. Got a long ways to go, but they're working on brain mapping, where you can go and actually, and Denny's was talking about earlier for what's on his mind about how when you remember something, it's actually not the actual event itself. You're remembering your memory of that event itself. So the brain mapping would go in and take all your memories and it would map them out. And in a sense, you would be able to download your brain. So you would never cease to exist. You would just move from body to body since our flesh and blood is going to decay one day. You could actually put yourself into a cyborg later and be like going, okay, I have a body now that could have removable parts.
But do you remember, like, okay, for example, if you did that with my brain, would I remember this conversation? Would I be able to have...
Just like anything else. And so, yeah, one day you would be going, wow, well, did I really ever have a human body, or was that actually... And then that would be the thing.
Do you feel like yourself? You don't feel like you're basically in a robotic body, but you are still your conscious?
I think you'd have the realization of saying, okay, I'm in a different body. And it depends upon how realistically they could recreate. And you'd say, do you want your old body or something close to it? We'll try to regenerate as close as we can to what your old body was. Or do you want something, somebody be going, I don't want to look like that again.
Well, if I could keep the way I think in my head and keep everything that's going,
that would be the same.
I wouldn't care if I was in a robot. If it was 300 years from now and they were able to upload me and I could pick up to right where I'm at today.
Yeah, you look down, and all of a sudden you get these jacked arms and you're just like, whoa.
That's different, but my thoughts and all my, you know,
that's the same.
And I think I'd be into that.
Yeah, but then you'd have to wonder and question to yourself, be like, okay, did anyone manipulate any of the mapping that came out? Did they insert thoughts?
It would have to be a guarantee.
It wasn't true.
Yeah, it's horrifying. What am I doing? I want to be a robot? No, that's a fucking terrible idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to talk it out.
They said it's a long way away, but they're actually starting to get little fragments of like mice brains and things like that they say, okay, we think we completed one thought of a mouse. But yeah, but if they figured out how to speed it up, make it faster, then yeah, that's one thing scientists are working on.
Well, would you want to live forever, even if your health you had great health and you could always feel healthy? Let's say you felt at your prime constantly. Would you want to live forever and go on? Or do you think eventually you'd just be like, I am tired of Earth. It's time to move on?
You know, it's interesting because I'm starting to change on that a little bit, because I think hopefully as you get older, you get better, you get smarter, you get more kind, you understand, you know, you have more empathy towards people. So arguably, if you live longer, imagine if you had a human being. Now, some people don't. They start out assholes and they're assholes 80 years later. But if you found somebody saying, wow, look at where they started, look at where they are now, let's let them keep going. Imagine maybe where they could be at the age of 300, where they just continue to accumulate knowledge and understanding and everything else. And wow, the wisdom that we would have, it'd almost be like you'd have your own Jedi Council.
And you would like that. That's appealing to you.
I'd never been for the living forever concept, but when I start thinking about it that way, if you had somebody that was always, maybe we're just, before we really start to reach our peak, our body pulls the plug on us.
Yeah, and I think, too, sometimes kind of you always talk about your grandma and how she said towards the end, oh, Kev, I'm ready to go. I think people are ready to go sometimes because of ailments and other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your perspective changes when your health is good.
For my grandmother, I think it was a lot of her friends around her were gone, and so she felt alone. And two, the body was failing. Now, let's say that your friends and family still stay around you because they're living longer too, and your body doesn't ache because you just would download into something else. And you're going, I feel great.
Yeah, I love Earth, so I think I could stay here for a while and be cool with that.
It depends upon what the status of Earth is.
Agreed. Now, if it turns into hellfire.
Yeah. So, you know, that would be the interesting concept. Let's say if you got to that point. I'm changing a little bit. If you change the circumstances, I'd be like, okay, it'd be fascinating to see.
You would live forever at that point if you could do that.
Where we would go.
Yeah.
If Earth stayed great and you were able to do this and my friends and family stayed around me, but then the question is, at that point, you would have to cut off any reproduction. You couldn't have any new humans.
Okay.
Because overpopulation, unless we got to other planets, it'd be too much.
Yeah.
So that's
deep. It's deep shit, man.
When you and Denny's are smoking weed later tonight, take that with you. Oh, yeah. Unpack that for a while. Yeah. All right, let's see here. We got somebody saying, yeah, man, I was like, listen to the show, and whoa, this is the best way to do it. I said, I had a horrible day, covered in tears. I typically pull up the KVJ Show podcast to feel better in general, and I've listened to you all since day one, and your voices are all familiar and comforting. Anyway, today I accidentally hit the button to increase the speed of your voices. Kevin of Virginia all of a sudden sounded like the two most fake, unfeeling hosts. Not really just giving a bleep, but laughing and falsely showing care and concern. Then I slowed it down, and you two were high and drunk AF, and both had me in tears once again. Anyways, thanks for always being there. And here's a little bit of what it sounds like when you mess with the speed. They say there are top 10 most popular dog phobias that are out there. I talked about the thunder shirt. That's number one phobia for dogs. Fear of thunder. Fear of fireworks. I know that most dogs freak out. If you've got a dog, 4th of July is a tough time. New Year's Eve, same thing. Number 3 phobia for dogs, fear of being left alone.
Oh, they don't know that you're coming back.
I've heard that. Is that true? Like, they don't. What is
That
it?
is heartbreaking.
They have such short-term memory. Yeah, they say some dogs really have separation anxiety. I know that my parents, last time they came down, their dog was howling so much that it was hoarse, couldn't even bark for like a week.
Oh, because it was sad.
Yes, it's not like they were never coming back or something. It's just terrible.
That breaks your heart.
Now, I don't know if they talk to dogs or how they got this in a ranking order, but they put fear of the vet at number 4.
I get it.
Number 5, fear of riding in the car. I'm surprised by that. Fear of going up and down stairs. Virginia, maybe you get this. Number 7, fear of men.
Okay.
I didn't understand that. We were at Matthew's Brewery last St. Patty's Day. There was a dog that was there, and apparently hates all men.
Sexist dog.
And I just kind of like was walking by, stinks all over me. What's going on? Like, yeah, the dog doesn't like men. I'm like, well, can we do a...
Maybe don't.
That's funny.
That is fun.
The sad thing is, Virginia really sounds like that when she's drunk. I'm not even kidding.
She does. Okay.
I mean, put that slow-mo versus the Dolphins audio, and it is not far off.
Maybe we should play that game then.
Yeah.
Slow
Really?
Virginia or drunk Virginia?
That's a fun game, kid.
Uh-huh. Okay, we do that after we get some drunk audio when she comes back from Mardi Gras. Engineer Key said, hey, no-name movie game belt. I'm in the process of making another one. Don't reward those belt thieves.
I agree. We're not. We're not going to reward them. We're going to get... That's who I meant to call out today. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Virginia has done some investigating. She's got names. She has got addresses.
Yeah.
She has got their relationship status.
Oh, I know.
Of all of that. And I mean, she really has. She's done the research. I want that belt back. I really want it back. They know
a nice
that.
one.
It was
Yeah.
it was a really nice belt.
Okay, so don't give him any kind of exchange.
No.
Engineer Keith doesn't want that.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
They ain't getting tickets.
Okay. Got another column out here from Stephanie. She wants to call out USCIS. I don't know what that is. For their shitty work and constantly pulling people apart. My husband and I applied for his immigration status change from a student to a permanent resident 4 years ago after we got married, but because we had only been together for 3 months before we got married, they looked down upon that. Now, 4 years later, we got denied again for the second time for reasons that they didn't explain to us. This is probably the worst government agency that I've ever heard of. We're out there doing the right thing and working hard going through them to get his citizenship, and we pay our taxes and our bills, but that's not good enough. There's a lot of problems. Maybe there's just tons of government agencies have got issues, and you always hear stories about like, how is that this way and that way, and what the heck is going on? It is chaotic.
That's a good way to. That's good commentary. That's a good way to handle a political email. That's good. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's crazy. It's chaotic.
It is crazy. It's chaotic. Makes you wonder what's going on.
That's good.
But as I often discover, there's often a deeper dive as to why it is this way and what's happening. Sometimes it is neglect, and other times it's just, unfortunately, it's not easy to come up with a good solution. Crystal is looking for some advice here.
Let's get into it.
Okay, it says here, I've been in my current job for 5 years. I love what I do. Problem is, I'm not making enough to support my son and I on my own, and we're living with my family, which is very stressful. Our office is growing, and a new manager position will be opening soon. I feel like I still have some things I can learn, but I don't think my boss is willing to teach me. And I don't think she would promote me. She's always talking bad about other employees to us, so I assume she's trash talking about me too when I make a mistake. Yeah, that's the one thing. If you run into a trash talker, just know that your time does come up, and they trash talk you to other people. Question is, when would you try to leave for a higher position? Should I stick it out until they create the position and see what happens? Am I just doubting myself? I don't want to leave, but I also want to be independent. I'm so torn. Yeah, I would say start sniffing around right now, and then you can look, and then when the position comes up, and if it doesn't go the way that you want, then you're well on your way to finding something else, and hopefully something that looks promising that you can just go out one day and be like going, hey, can I get this position? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then the next day you'd be like going, yeah, I'm leaving. And they'll be like, why? Well, because I was hoping for this with this position. So I'm going to leave. And then maybe they would be like, well, then let's change it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people are afraid to if they're in a situation they're comfortable in and they're afraid to make a change because they don't think they're ever going to find, a good job again or a better job. And a lot of times, sometimes when you leave a place, you find a better job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that you probably want to maintain forward momentum. You do, and that's what's tough for a lot of people. And that's one of the main reasons why people leave jobs is they just feel like I'm just stuck in a rut. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not advancing. If you feel that way and it's important to you, then yeah, it's time to look somewhere else. So I would start looking right now and then wait to see what happens with the job. You don't have to jump out of it so quick. We got Teresa saying, hey, I want to get my husband a guitar for his 50th birthday. Jaybird, can you tell me what kind of guitar you have? I'm clueless about guitars.
Well, what is she looking for? Is she going for, an electric?
I think she's going acoustic, I would assume, because that's what you have.
Oh, boy. I like Takamine. I like, that's what one I have today. Yeah, I got the Takamine with me. That's one of my favorite ones.
Takamine?
Denny's is a good guy to ask, too. Ovation's a nice one that I also like.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah. I would go on YouTube and just...
They probably have them rated, too, don't they?
They do, but if you go on YouTube, they'll have a different they'll have someone playing them and you can kind of see what you like and what looks good and what sounds good and go with that.
Okay, there you go. Some good advice. And let me see, got this email came in, said I was so excited to meet you or half of you guys at Coral Springs Sportsplex. I was so nervous to go up to Jaybird and the crew. Saw Virginia, but she was packing up to leave, so I was scared to ask for a photo. Love you guys. Looking for a photo of Kev. He was gone. Love you guys. Keep doing your thing. So, yeah, we'll hopefully get out and about and around and all that kind of stuff a little bit more in the future. That is the plan.
I like going down to Broward.
Yo, yeah. It's a very cool area.
There's a lot of pizza places down there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
People keep... another hot zip in Palm Beach County, it seems to be Lake Worth is a big pizza town, and so is Delray. Where's Atlantic Avenue? Is that Boynton?
Atlantic Avenue is Delray.
Delray, yeah, Delray, I guess. Delray and Boynton, I guess, has got a lot of pizza places, too.
Yeah,
that whole area.
Delray is jamming. That is awesome. I went out on the, they call it the Ave.
Yes, I've heard.
Went on the Ave on Friday. I went to a place called Tin Roof.
Oh, I've heard of that. I think I went there with you.
I doubt it because the first time I went was on Friday.
Well,
I don't remember seeing you.
That wasn't you. That wasn't real.
Yes. Again, talking about
we went
memories.
to some kind of tin thing together. Tin Fish?
Yeah, Tin Fish we went to. That used to be open in West Palm.
Tin Man?
Tin Fish, and Tin Fish is out of business. Is now some other restaurant.
Okay, as you were.
Yes, but yeah, it was really kind of cool. It's nice there. It's right next to Honey, and so they got some good spots on the Ave.
Is the Top Golf? Is that where that place is?
Top Golf.
Is that in Broward or Dade County?
Miami Gardens is in Dade, I believe.
I want to go there. That seems like that is so fun.
Yeah, oh no, it's amazing. Yeah, and they're opening up. Top Golf has a competitor. They're opening one by the Palm Beach International Airport, and then they're supposed to be opening up an actual Top Golf right on I-95 around Forest Hill. It's going to be part of the West Palm Country Club that's there. But they've hit some red tape. And then there's a new proposal in Fort Lauderdale to open up a Top Golf.
No shit.
They're opening up everywhere.
That is awesome. That thing looks like so much fun.
Top Golf is great.
And I miss batting cages. I feel like there's no batting cages around anymore. Are they a dying breed? Do you know where any batting cages are at?
The only one I know is Boomers.
Do they have batting cages?
Boomers has them, and then there's also Fun Depot that is in Lake Worth. It's the only two batting cages I know of like that. And then there's a place, actually there is a place right off of I-95. It's in a one of the service. You can see it right off of 95, close to North Lake, just a little south of North Lake, I think is where it is.
No way.
And it's indoor batting cages, yeah.
No shit.
Training facility, I think, is more what it is.
Hit some balls, man.
Yeah.
See if I still don't have it.
Yep, still suck.
Yeah, still terrible.
Still terrible. Yeah, so you can go check that out. Oh, and I forgot to mention this earlier. I finally got onto a Netflix show. I wanted to mention it when I was mentioning the Flat Earther stuff. I finally, for whatever reason, I know why, because I saw a promo. They're coming out with the 5th season of Arrested Development. And it's got Jason Bateman in it. And I, heard good things about the show, never watched it. And I was kind of like, oh, man, because I was hoping he's going to be working on Ozark to get that out quicker. I'd love to see a 3rd season of Ozark.
I think they're doing a 3rd season.
I think they are, but I just, what's the timetable? Because typically I think I watch that show in the summer. So I'm like, it's coming up. When is that show going to be done? But Arrested Development, they're going to be doing a 5th season. So I said, what the hell? I checked it out. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. The first 2 seasons are very good.
Okay. And then it kind of slips off a little bit.
Well, they take I think after season 3, they take a hiatus, and it's years later. And I haven't seen too much of the latest episodes, but the first 3 seasons are very good.
Okay, I'm kind of digging it. So I'm excited because there's some good TV coming up. I got Arrested Development. Game of Thrones is coming up.
When does that drop? Is that March?
April.
Gosh, man. Game of Cock Tease.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
You got Veep, though, is coming out with their final season soon. And then Billions.
Curb Your Enthusiasm's got another season coming out as well.
And that's a show I got to watch as well.
You would like that show.
After the other ones I've mentioned in Arrested Development, then I'll probably get on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I think you would like it. There's a lot of awkward moments in that show, and I don't know if you like awkward moments.
Okay.
I love awkward moments.
You love awkward moments. Yeah. So I don't know. So a couple I might get to. So thanks for checking it out. Thanks always for the suggestions. You can send us an email, let us know, mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Have an amazing Monday. We'll talk to you on Fast Tuesday. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.